probably like 700 or something like that.
I thought it's 1,000 for primary.
But I'm saying minus the catching of the baby.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't realize you get a deduction if you don't catch.
Oh yeah.
Really?
It's a lot of work.
Watch out for that rock. Oh, you're wearing your work shoes and clothes.
Oh yeah. You got sticks in your face. Bless you. Bless you.
Okay, so Crypto World Cup vlog, December 1st, 2022. So the next one's being uploaded right now. I mean, it should be up, the standard definition version. HD will be up in like 8 hours. Correction for the World Cup. I made a mistake. I didn't realize there was a match earlier at 4 p.m. European time, 7 p.m. local Qatarian time. So, over now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Get up there. There you go. So there was a match earlier. I remembered it after I made the vlog yesterday. Australia versus who did they play? They played their kangaroo arch rivals. Argentina. No, that was the other match. Oh, Argentina played Poland. No, I talked about that one. That was the afternoon. Australia versus who's their arch? New Zealand? No, England. Who are their arch nemesis? I don't know. It's kind of tricky to step here. Australia played someone. Oh yeah. Tunisia played.
Oh, this is no.
This is normal, right? Okay. Australia played someone. Anyway, they won 1-0 against European Denmark. Australia versus Denmark, yeah. And then Denmark lost to Tunisia. I would have went harder. Australia was 7-1. You bet $100, you get $700. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're way up there. So who did Tunisia play? Oh yeah, Tunisia versus France. It's all coming back now. And Tunisia won 1-0. Crazy ending, reversal. I think I talked about that. Huh. But what you didn't know about that match was the VAR actually shouldn't have overruled two things. The referee didn't blow his whistle for full time. If he had blown his whistle for full time, then the play was reviewable. But he blew his whistle for the new kickoff to start. At that point, the play is not reviewable. Although FIFA allows a play to be reviewed because there's a law, the law of the draw, whatever the greatest benefit is, regardless of the rules. This ruling. So technically, it wasn't reviewable, and technically it was reviewable. So it was 1-1, right? After the goal, but VAR came in. And even though the referee blew the whistle to kick off, right after the goal, you have to kick off at the other team, Tunisia, would have to kick off at center half. Wait, or when I was playing in juniors, we got to kick off our own ball, but I'm pretty sure in professional sports, professional football, the other team kicks off after scoring. So, well, maybe it wasn't the same. Maybe it was the same in juniors. Anyway, so the offsides rule, yeah, he was clearly couple feet offsides or half a meter. But the ruling is if he plays an advantage because of that offside, like if the ball goes to him or the ball goes to the player next to him and it comes back to him, something like that. But because the opposing player headed it and then he kicked it in off the header, Griezmann should have been awarded the goal and not reverse the offsides, or not reverse the goal on the offsides ruling to VAR. But here's the thing: the defender has to be in control when he makes an attempt at the ball. So what does that mean? So this is where the ruling gets tricky. In control means he's not falling backwards, he's not flipping over, he's not upside down, whatever. He's positioned for the ball and he gets out. But because the defender had to move back really hard like that, and for whatever reason, Griezmann being offsides resulted in that ball being advanced, the offsides ruling stood. But if he would have been clearly planted and headed it out, and just Griezmann got it off the header, then the offsides ruling wouldn't have held. So that's why the offsides ruling is so tricky. Normally it just goes straight to the player, or he touches it right after and it's ruled offsides. But in this case, because of the header, it was tricky. But because he was off balance, the Tunisian player, when he headed it, the offsides stood via VAR. I mean, it was reversed due to offsides. And that's why Tunisia won 1-0 versus 1-1. And it didn't affect the result. Australia and France still went on. France with 6, Tunisia with 4, and Australia with 6. So, so I talked about, I wasn't sure who played Monday in the earlier match. So I'll talk about today's match. Was Morocco versus the bloody Canadians. Canada. They played Canada. And in the other match, we had Belgium versus Croatia. So Belgium had to win. Belgium had 3 going in, 1 win, 1 loss. 1 win against Canada. I wish Canada would have won. Canada actually played better. Belgium did not play well at all, even though they're ranked top 10 in the world. I think second going into this tournament this year in international play. So, Belgium ended up drawing, spoiler, against Croatia 0-0. They had to win. You think they would just pulled the goalie, sent everyone forward, whatever, lose 0-2, but at least make an attempt, not just draw 0-0. And despite Morocco scoring 2 goals in the 8th minute and 23rd minute, they gave up an own goal in the 40th minute to Canada. I bet on Morocco to win by 2 goals and 3 goals 1 minute or 30 seconds before that own goal. And I think that's the first own goal of the tournament so far. You can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Yeah, so the final result was 2-1. So obviously, should have bet on. But soccer or football is so random. Who's going to score? All sports are kind of random. Normally, the better team wins, but then the odds always favor the better team. So you have to bet a lot more to make a little bit of money if you're betting on the favorite. That's why it's so hard to win at sports betting unless you have algorithms and data and bots running to figure out the live betting, who's better, who's going to score. A lot of times during the match, you can say, okay, this team's playing a lot better, they're going to score, but that doesn't mean they will score. Like yesterday, all those shots by Mexico and Argentina, but both games ended up with only 2 goals for each team. Yeah, so I'm convinced you can't win long-term on football or sports unless you carefully plan your bets, carefully plan each wager. There's certain factors in your favor, and you can just, like, everyone always has a reason why the team they bet on is going to win. You don't bet on a team to win and say, oh, they're going to lose, that's why I'm betting on them. I mean, it does work sometimes, but odds are you'll be a near 50-50 better, and you'll end up losing because the house takes 5 to 10% per bet, and 15% in some crazy cases, or more, like these long shot odds. Like the throw-in bet, you had to bet 0 to 9 on how many throw-ins there were. If they had like 12, that would be a 2, whatever the ones digit was. So, but you only got 80 to 1, so there were 100 bets. So if you won, you only got 80% of your bet back if you placed a bet on each one, $1 on each one, say, and you won the right result. You would get $80, but you would have spent $20, $100. So the casino or the sports book would have got $20. So they'd have a 20% edge there on that bet. That's just betting for fun, basically. And a lot of bets are like that. Well, the bookie will take your bet, even though in the long run they're going to clean you out. So sports betting is random. There is a way to win with small edges, but people like Gainsey are just betting at random. And if your team wins, you're like, yeah, I knew it. I went through the data, even though you didn't. You're like, this player was better. These teams were playing better. That's why they won. But it's really hard. Unless you're a consistent winner in sports betting, it's going to be really, really hard. Like, I can win 3 games in a row, 4 games in a row if I'm lucky. But to win consistently, no way. It's near impossible. And a lot of times you might have a World Cup where the underdog wins more than they're supposed to, say like 30% of the time versus 23% implied odds or something like that. But then the next World Cup, it might be the opposite, where they only win 21% of the time versus 20. I said I left her at home. Versus 24% implied odds. So you never know how the trend is. The trend can change. The trend can last 10 matches, whatever. That's why it's so hard to find a trend, A, and B, know how long that trend's gonna last. I mean, I've placed hundreds of sports bets, and I mean, looking at the data, I'm basically break even. I might have won a little more than I lost because I just got lucky with a bigger wager that I won, but it's really hard to win long-term sports betting. But there are certain edges, of course. Crypto update, not much. We had a band had a crazy pump, I think from like 140 to, or 160 to 230. And what happens after band pumps? Someone tweets, oh, the oracles are pumping. What are the other oracles? Link, but it's too high cap. It's even like triple the cap of band or so. I don't know what it is now, actually, with Link not doing crap the last year. It's funny, Link didn't really go up or down. Well, no, it did correct 80% the last year, but it didn't really go up in the last half of 2021. It did go down in 2022, but the other oracles, DAIA, the smallest cap, and then with the cap around 50 million TRB, and both of those are in Binance. And TRB actually shot up 2x. DCL got some sell orders off last week on that, made about 40% of his initial unleveraged. I'm not talking about leveraged, it was like 200% because he went 5x. So yeah, TRB started to run. It ran from like 14 to 15, 20 or something. So almost 10%. Then DAIA pumped like 7% from 35 to 36.5. Or was that 5%? 4%. So a lot of pumps. What happened? But you got to be earlier before someone tweets about it. By the time they tweet about it, you're kind of too late. Comfy took a $400 loss. Apologies for your loss, Comfy. I can't do shout outs today because the vlog's not up yet, or it's up now, but I didn't check the comments. Sorry about that. Next one will be double shout outs. Anything else in crypto? Oh, Bitcoin's struggling to hold above 17K. I usually get nervous, and a lot of people, like one guy on the Binance leaderboard, A2 Stakes, he closed out his positions for like 450K gain overall or so, or 600K gain. Just because Bitcoin was sort of hanging on. You don't have too much of an edge when you leave positions open. Let's go this way. Let's go this way. If you leave positions open during the Chubby. When Bitcoin's not moving and alts are not moving, then you're just gambling 50-50 if they're going to go up or down. I mean, long term or midterm, Bitcoin's probably going to go up a little, but GCR says that this is the echo bubble, so we should go back to 12K after SP 500 retests the all-time high or fizzles at 44 or 4,500 or whatever. I don't think it gets back to 4860 or whatever the all-time high is. I mentioned SPX 500 because Bitcoin and crypto and SPX 500 are highly correlated. They've had periods of decorrelation, like the massive dump due to Luna, but overall there's a high correlation. It might be 60%, or it varies. It varies between like 30 and 70%, I think. So, yeah, so you want to close out your positions if the narrative is dead, if it stops moving, whatever. You can give it a few hours. You can give it half a day, but we might cool off back to 16.5K before shooting up. It's just really hard to determine these micro price movements. It's easier to determine long-term trends than short-term. You're basically gambling without edge on short-term trends unless you're really good at your TA or you're a big influencer on Twitter. So, is there anything else specific? There's a lot of narratives coming in. Oh, yeah. So, farming ended today on HFT, which was the last Binance launch pool at the end of October. And then in November, they talked about, I forgot the name of the new token. Sorry about that, for their launch pad. But that was also, is that a coyote or chicken? Guess we gotta go across here. It is a dog.
Oh, it's a chihuahua.
Oh, he's in the car. Come on, little one. So two things going on. The last day to mine, or the first day, the new token on Binance, their launchpad was launching this morning. I didn't check it yet. Something with a D maybe. And then the last day of the 30 days for HFT, high frequency trading token, was, wait, that seems like an older token. That's weird. Was that the token announced last month? Maybe it was, but I swear I was in it like 6 months ago. So HFT, actually maybe not, maybe that was another token, was the 30th day of farming. So the last day to dump rewards, and then the token's gonna pump. So the token did pump 20% from low to high, from about 50 cents to 60 cents or 61. So you had two things happening again. Last day of farming, farmers can't dump their rewards anymore. And the new launch pad, even though launch pad pool and launch pad are slightly different, but they're still correlated with the pump there happening today. So that's why the double correlation, good place to get an HFT. I didn't realize it because it's been 6 months or 8 months since their last one, their last pairing of Steppen GMT. I forgot the other token that was the launch pad, that's that. So they're eternally bonded now because they launch right after each other and they don't launch every month. And now the BSD listings QLC. Corrected. I said low 300s would be a good entry, but it's 272 now, so that's a good entry. Even though it is definitely risky, but less risky than 417. And for people that didn't sell at 400, why are you still holding for the BSD listings? Obviously, it's been 5 straight weeks, no listing. They don't want to list them, okay? It takes literally nothing for Binance to add a BUSD pair, maybe an hour of programming or like $100 man hours, maybe $1,000 max, and they're making over $1 million a day or $5 million a day, whatever it is, $10 million a day in trading fees. So probably closer to 5 million. That would be about 2 billion a year in fees. Yeah. So we had the retrace. And hi, we're going in this car. We got everyone? 2 puppies over there.
I have a sandwich for you. It's really yummy if you want it.
Oh, no, I'm trying to cut back.
Breakfast?
What?
New breakfast?
Oh, a new breakfast sandwich?
Yeah, no, Ellen.
No, I'm okay. I don't want to eat anything. It's that because I had the drunken noodles last night. I'm still feeling those noodles. Drunken means like heavy on sauce and spices and whatever. From Pickup Sticks. This video has been sponsored by Pickup Sticks. Come in, try your new drunken noodles tofu. Wonton Wednesdays, 50-cent wontons in any chicken dish or beef, broccoli, pork, anything you want at your nearest Pickup Sticks. Chinese done right. And obviously Oaks corrected too, the other ones. And that's that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the other side, which is the interwebs. Web 3 or Web 4, Web 5. I'm sure Twitter wants that Web 5. Jack Dorsey wants the Web 5 trademark. And remember, you got to stay positive, because if you're negative, your life's going to be shit. If you think it's bad, it's really going to be bad, even though it's might be good. You can turn the best life. You can be a millionaire, multi-millionaire, born with a silver spoon in your mouth, and then turn into a drunk, drug addict, dead at age 30. Don't let it happen to you. You got to look for things in life, challenge yourself, and be positive. Be the master of your own mind like Comfius. Thanks for watching. Hi.